Well, hello everyone in Twitch world and YouTube world. Welcome into Flying with Mike. We're into ZIBO. Now, YouTubers, if you haven't already, you will have noticed we put a special video out for yesterday. Those of us here in the States, we celebrate Memorial Day. Was Armistice Day. Hope I said that right. Anyway. Day celebration after World War I. All of those who had fallen both in that war and prior, which continues to expand outward, became a real big holiday since then. So, and as many call it, the unofficial start to summer, as we still technically do have another calendar month, so to say, to get to the solstice. But anyway, we're sitting on the ramp here in Houston, Texas, at what I like to call Hobby Lobby Airport. It's actually William Hobby Airport International, that is. But I have fun with it. Hobby Lobby Airport. The Hooby Looby, if you will. So, anyway, we are going to be headed to the big Hotlanta, ATL. And here is the chariot being gassed up and ready to go. Sitting in spot 44, default scenery for Hobby Airport. Hobby Airport. Yeah, see, I even get myself really confused. You know, why don't we just call it that? Hobby Lobby. I have a feeling the guys behind Hobby Lobby would probably be going, Captain Mike, you're getting close to copyright infringement. So, but anyway, folks, I hope you had a great day off. Some of you, I don't get you slackers taking yet another day. You got 3 days, and now you want 4. My goodness. So, welcome aboard, and hope you enjoy. That's what we're here for, is to try to have a little bit of fun. Oh, guess what? We're full of fuel. Well, at least enough fuel for the trip, so they say on paper. So sit back, relax, hey, wind down, because most of you will the rest of you will begin to trickle to work as the week progresses, if not into next week. All right, so again, ZIBO 737. Really, folks, if you are in the Microsoft world and fly the PMDG bird, you're about to get your socks blown off, because this is X-plane, and this plane is PMDG, the PMDG for X-plane, and PMDG isn't even behind it. Developers called ZIBO Group put this together using the default 737 that comes with the sim. This is a free mod, and that just put a dagger, I know, in some PMDGers, because they're spending quite a bit of money for their stuff. Now, granted, theirs can do a little more than ZIBO, but you're going to find out ZIBO does what PMDG does, and some areas on their side of the house better than PMDG. All right, that's as far as we're going to go into the Microsoft X-Plane bash. You can ring the bell. Game over on that. We're going to just get into it and get flying, shall we? Up into the cockpit we shall rise. All right, and here we are, folks, in the office. A couple of things I want to get started here, since we are full of fuel. I also want to see, we're not aligned. Oh, yes, we are very close to it. Okay, let's get that step done. All right, we'll clear that. And Okay. Now, if you want to go a step farther, you can put the gate in here. I just do this, go to the next page. And today being an even day, I'll use anything that requests a left or a right. I take the right side on even days, just as a way for this flight crew to change it up, if you will. It only stinks because sometimes we only fly on even days. But anyway, you know, hey, who's really watching? Oh, wait, you guys are. What am I saying? All right, so anyway, so we've got the initial done here. Let's go. Put HOU in and KATL. Boom. All right, in the background, you've been hearing the flight crew getting after what little they have to do. Here come the peeps. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kick on the EPU and then begin programming the FMC. Try to get this aircraft cooled down. It's here in Texas. It's summertime, and folks, it is a bit on the warm side. Once we get this get the APU going, we'll do a pre-flight here like we always do so you can see where we're headed. For those, whoop, I hit the wrong key, sorry about that. What we did is basically we took the switch here all the way down to start, held it for 3, let go, and boom. We're just waiting for it to settle down. But you can see we're pretty close to setup to go. Once the APU is on here, just a couple things left. Let me get the left fuel on. Just okay, everybody is waiting on me now. Okay, we're on the gens. The AC/DC meter is set to APU, and the bleed valve is on. All right, so let's get through here and set up our route performance and what our trim and V speeds will be. Okay, so back down here we go. Now I'm gonna adjust, let me see, yeah, just a little bit on the range, kick us over to plan. Well, since I'm not 100% sure and I'm not gonna do it the easy way, I'm just gonna put it in here. It's not a tough plan. If we were in Europe, that would be a different story. You could go 100 miles and put 10 airways and 20 points in it to get there. It's unbelievable how they set that up over there. But, you know, to each their own. It's just amazing, folks. All right, so Southwest 1908. And let's go to the next page. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Departure, arrival. Departure. We are going off of runway 13 right. And Elko, LLA. All right. All right, I changed my mind, obviously. We're going to just, since I just got right into going to the plan, we'll just go there and then come back. Oh, wow, this is all directs. Oh, wow, I didn't realize that. HRV, for some reason, when I looked at it, I thought I saw a lot of airways. I was wrong. So Harv, GCV. PAYTN. It's actually not as bad as I built it up to be, but still. Finally, SHYRE. And that, folks, gets us to Atlanta. All right, now why I put it up here, I'll show you. And really, it's now we can really see it. Now, I put the departure in here. We're just going to go through looking for discontinuities. We're also going to be looking for any of these waypoints, since we typed them in, that go way off route. I can already tell you, I think we're good on the mileage, but let's not rely on that. This long line, by the way, is because of a vector. And I know many, well, why'd you stop at SHYRE? That's the beginning of our arrival. We'll get to that in flight. Reason being, we're going to be also setting up our actual runway we're coming to. We're set for 8 right or 8 left. I'm okay with that. ATC, if it comes up, may not be. So that is the reasoning. Hang on, let's go here. Okay, so we'll leave this. Let me go back to the route page. We're going to leave this like this. Let's bring up some toolkit and talk through the route before we get into performance and V speeds and trims and all of that. All right. So hang on, I'm on the wrong page here. Okay, there's Sim Toolkit. And folks, this is a free software. So if you're looking for an EFB, I'll leave it there. I told you what we weren't going to be talking about after our opening remarks. If you're looking for an EFB, this is a free one. Now, will it give everything you need for ZIBO? No. I mean, for PMDG? No. But it will provide a lot of information, because a lot of things you can do with it here, folks. Down here in the bottom, you can, with this little settings button here, or tab manager, or however you want to call it, a cog, you can set it up so you can go to SimBrief. Ooh, look, there's my flight plan. Sky Vector. Look what the route looks like going to Atlanta. And ultimately over here to NavGraph, where you can actually, aside from putting the route in, that's phenomenal in itself, and seeing where you are on the route, which you can also do in the basic Sim Toolkit, what you get when you download it before you add all of this for free. You get charts. If you use charts, I highly recommend them. Dive. Attitude. Welcome into the house. So you can, if you use charts, which is a pay product, you can actually, anywhere in the world, active airports, you can pull up their instrument charts. Really helpful in Europe, really helpful in Asia and Australia, because they are very difficult to find outside of this program free. Now granted, you paid a subscription fee for this, but it's very difficult even to find them, let alone when you do for free. It's hard. It takes a lot of work, and usually they're way outdated. All right, so we're in Houston. We're coming off the Elko 6, and you can just see how this route we put in. We put in, I forget where we started on it. Oh well. LLA, HRV, working our way right on up the line here to the final. Yeah, I lost track where I was going, folks. I hope 58 is better for you all. All right, so you can also overlay your charts. I love this. Is one of those things that Chart 8 does. You can overlay the actual chart and see where you're going. Okay, so pull this back. For today's flight, here's the weather reports, folks. 060 at 8. Now, no bad attitude. I did not see what in-builds did. So the winds. Now the D8 for this airport has arrivals on runway 4. Makes sense. It is a busy airport. Departures 13 right. That way, one runway for one thing, one runway for another to help controllers out. Oh, and it's free. Good deal to hear that they've got the 300 and the Beluga from Airbus bundled up at in-builds. Check it out, folks. Those are two really good products of theirs. So you can see the weather here. Over in Atlanta, we've got, again, we're going to have what's called, I think they call that East Operations, where we're landing, as you would assume, to the east. Runway did they put us on? Let me just look at my flight plan real quick. 8 left. So we're in the outer runway coming in furthest north of the terminals. Usually, when I'm coming from the south, I try to ask for the 27s. So that's why we're waiting. Also, you can see they do have some thunderstorms north, northeast, and west of the airfield. So we'll kind of see how this all plays out. Could be some fun times into there. And then finally, the loadout. 180 people. Folks, we got a pretty full plane today to Atlanta. 36,000 pounds of payload with a zero fuel weight of 131,000. Dispatch has graciously gave us 26 for a CI and 35,000 feet for the ride. All right, folks, so let's clear out Sim Toolkit and finish up getting this plane ready to go. Okay, we got the route in there. Yeah, go up here real quick, pull it back to map. There we go. And you can see that vector right here, folks. And once we get airborne, we'll go direct Elko and right on to our departure. Okay, so perfect. I always immediately click here on the ZFW 131.0. And we planned 18.1, I believe it was, on the fuel. Okay, so I'll just put that in planned. Just because I don't like seeing empty spots. The reserve, what I'll do is, let's see, briefing. We'll go with, say, 7.6. About an easy 8. Cost index 26. All right, and our cruise wind 230 at 14 on the flight plan. All right, we'll head over to N1. Now, what I use for N1 here, folks? No bad attitude. You sure didn't tell us. let's see here. Let me pull up Top Cat and we'll, hang on, it helps to pull it up for you guys, not just me. There we go. All right, so we're on the page here. Again, another payware piece I use, and I use this primarily 737, 766, because I can't find anything to work out the performance information other than using what it pulls up. I kind of like to see what it gives, and I use the PMDG because these two aircraft folks are so close together. Performance and everything, it's supposed to be. They're 737-800s. Okay, so we got our zero fuel weight. We got our fuel weight, I think a little heavy. We're fine though, I'll take it. And we'll just head over to takeoff. We'll update the weather here. 120 now at 12 officially as of 17:53. So just about a half hour old. So we're 120 at 12, gusting to 19, 10 miles of visibility, and 2990. Lightning in the distance. Ooh. All right. All you're going to see is the wind, the temperature, and that we're still at 1013 or 2090. And that we're still dry. You know what? Let me check. I'm going to go quickly over to DATIS and check to make sure they haven't gotten rain, and Ops has put them to a wet condition. Those guys can be kind of tricky over there. Lightning distance, still using 4 for the approaches. And 13 right for the departures. That's if VATSIM follows in hand. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Okay, then they're not even up, so. But yeah, it is a dry runway. You got a phone call from a captain. Oh, congratulations. You got them around a bunch of thunderstorms, and how good the flight following. Good job there, Bad Attitude. That always helps when you're starting out in the field. So good job, man. Good to see. All right, so we are dry on the runway. We're going to go, obviously, with the air conditioning on, although it would not be unheard of to go packs off on this one, folks. Because we'll get to that in just a quick minute. Well, actually, we can do it real quick. That's how long our runway is, folks, 7,600 feet. So we may want to turn the packs off and then turn them back on. We're just right now cooling the plane, so we'll brief it. And that's always never a good thing to see. Never a good thing to see. Our takeoff weight exceeds the performance limit for this airport. That is because of the temperatures and the engine out and all that good stuff. No, that is because we're on the wrong runway. Hey, it helps to get onto the right runway too. The tailwind limit was killing us. All right. So we're still going to see what I'm talking about now. If we turn the air conditioning off, do a packs off departure, look at what we now increase our, increasing our margin to as much as 500, almost 600 feet at the end of the runway. So yeah, I think we'll do packs off. Let's see it. We'll see what it does here. We're going to go 35 degrees up here in a moment and take off 2. Now we could set higher on this, do a takeoff or takeoff 1 setting. we'll keep it at takeoff 2, just what dispatch, what it's showing here. And we said 35 degrees. Let's go for it. Climb out 2. Basically, let me kind of explain this page here. And it really helps right here. Engineers out there know 100% power is all these engines can give you, right? We all have been taught that all you can do is 100%. And sometimes you hear that, well, give it 110. Well, you know what? These engines can go to 110 in some situations. Actually, forget which airplane we fly, a lot does. Actually, it's the 747. Those engines run usually above 100%. I know you engineers are just shaking it. No, they really aren't. No. Well, N1 is above 100% on the pressures. So what we do is to help save wear and tear on the engines, I'm going to use the word derate, but that's not really the word here. We're pulling just a little bit of power off those engines so they're not running at 100%. They're going to actually, in this case, run at 92.3 or thereabouts on the N1 dial, which is this one up here. They're set for it. That's what they should hit. Here it's saying 93.7 on the Top Cat program. Okay, instead of the 100%. So that's giving just about a 7%, off the max, as engineers think, and saving some wear and tear on those massively expensive engines in the millions of dollars sitting out there, so they can get them to the major overhaul times without having to do them early and spend the money early. So that's what we're doing here. And then on the next page, when we go to takeoff, and our climb is the same thing. We have climb, which is basically maximum power. And as you're climbing, your N1 is rising to the different levels here. It'll wash out from climb 2 to climb 1, usually around the early teens in the 1,000 feet levels. So like 13, 14,000, maybe even into 16,000. And then it's going to wash to climb above 20 usually. It could be lower because of density, altitudes, and all of that. But again, we're saving that wear and tear as much as possible. And still providing enough thrust for the takeoff and enough for the climb. And you, the passenger, don't even know that. Click CG. Now, many streamers will not go to page 2. I love going to page 2 because it's fun to fill out, and it's that little extra detail that I think is cool and actually works. Let's see, runway wind and heading 120 at 12. That's pretty simple. Some of it was too hard to fill in. Well, that was pretty simple. Runway slope, you can get that off Sim Toolkit or right here, down 0.1. So you just put, and again, thanks Bad Attitude for helping me out on this one, down 0.1. Oh, and put the slash in like it says up here for the heading next, 131. What did I? Oh, I know what I did wrong. I'm not in an Airbus. There we go. And that just puts your slope and your heading in there. Your temperature and your select engine temperature and your actual outside air, pretty close to matching. I usually leave these as is, folks, but they're changeable. Then go back to next page. Fill in your flaps. We're going flaps 5. Okay, and if you notice, Top Cat, again, they don't have a ZIBO profile. So I use the PMDG. Look at the speeds here in your QRH. 141, 143, 148, folks. It's only off by a knot. That is not bad. We'll take it. And then it says, here's our runway length. It doesn't tell you what you're going to eat up. That part it won't tell you. But I kind of wish it would, but that would be a lot for the aircraft to chew on. But there you go, folks. The aircraft's performance-wise set up, ready to go. And for the most part, so are we. We've got our route. We've got to get our altimeter set. Hang on, let me punch up. Oh, let me get rid of Top Cat here. And we'll do a little housekeeping. All right, so we'll come right here. We'll put in 131. Okay, so V2 plus 10. And 35,000 feet, unless ATC tells me something different. On. Okay, let me make sure, because altimeters are not right. Okay. And set our baro. All right, there's our radar altitude. So we're above 400 feet. All right, folks. And finally, we're set to go here. We got the EPU on. And landing gear lever down, 3 green, spoilers down, flaps up. And let me put this one on progress. We are ready to go, folks. They've already told us everybody's on board. Start levers are idle cutoff down here at the bottom, cutoff. And we're ready to go. One last switch to throw. And an altitude to set. All right. Last check. I didn't forget anything. All right. Now would be a quick time, folks. We're going to be waiting on Mac Air's software to fire up so I can get credit with them for this flight. Another great bunch of people, folks. If you're looking for virtual airline to join, Mac Air, exclamation mark, Mac Air, all one word. And check them out for yourself. You know, for me, they are a great fit. If you also happen to know Captain Mac's videos out there, this is an airline he formed, and it's a really good airline, folks. A lot of divisions you could look at. You come into the open, but you have charter, cargo, and ProLine. ProLine is like it kind of sounds. You're gonna fly with check pilots and everything, you know, through getting your virtual private, so forth, on up the ladder. So check them out. I've been with them a couple of years now, folks, and just flat out love flying for them. They have tours you can do. We're doing one in Africa with the Airbus, but they have a whole litany of them. First 2 years, maybe 3. We flew Alaska, all 3 of their big routes up there for the Kodiak. Oh, folks, that was fun. So check them out if you're looking for somebody to join. And just about there. Fly bid. Oh, my nose. Sorry, folks. All right, hang on a second. I'm just looking, and you can fly just about any airplane out there in the sim for any airline. So I know you're just going, huh? If I had any critique, sometimes it's very hard to find the airline you're looking for in the list of airplanes they have. All right, there we go, but eventually you find it. All right, so we're a maximum of, how many can we haul? We're going 180. Turning that off, which is the top of descent or pause at so many miles out. Route, I need to find that again. Really? I closed that out. I'll be jigger. I hate when I do that, folks. All right, making sure start. All right, that program is up and running. Jacksonville just came up in the ensuing minutes. We're going to get on. Actually, I don't think I filed a flight plan yet. Yeah, it's yelling at me. You haven't filed a flight plan. Maybe I don't want to. No. All right, so what time are we? 12? No. 18. Pretty close to what I had scheduled. Wow. I even gave myself some time here, folks. 100 SWA, and we're performance C. All right, so let's get online. Can be looking, we'll be Southwest 1908 B738 and connect. All right, and all right, so we are ready to push back, folks. Hey, oh, you're getting up at 3 a.m. Bad attitude. I kind of got up at 4:30 in the morning today. Long story, don't need to bore anyone about it. So actually wasn't, but it is what it is. So, all right, well, you get some rest, sir. You have a great day. Thanks for being a part and supporting the channel by popping in and saying hi. Folks, if you are new to the channel and watching here, we'd love for you to click that follow button there. And that way you can be notified when we fly again by email. And, join along, support the channel. We'd love to have you as part of Flying with Mike's team. So if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Then you can see when we release this video along with other videos already out there and to come down the pike. Yeah, we just love to have you part of the family, folks. So follow for Twitch, subscribe for YouTube. And by the way, for both of you, it's not a dime. All right, let's get ready to rumble down a runway. Close up those. Oh, is this one equipped? Let me find out. Oh man, I gotta have to make sure these guys get equipped. I don't see it handy. Nope. Ooh, that ain't very nice. I can't read the numbers. There we go. It's just the way the sunlight's hitting. Okay, let's go to there, and here we go, folks. Let's get the main door closed. I don't know if it pulled away or not. Doesn't look like it. It isn't going far, I know that. All right, we are clear of the jet bridge. Let's make sure we're off. All right, signaling the ground crew. Take off that. Get us better pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. KHOU is driving up.
All right, let's do our final checks here, just making sure minimums are set. And they are. Landing gear lever down, 3 green, flaps up, spoilers down, engine starts, parking brake set, yaw dampers on, passengers aboard. All right, system B, electrical pump on, anti-collision lights on. I want to get over here to the panel real quick. Never, when I want to get somewhere quick, does it want to move. Chocks off.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
And cleared to connect. Okay, we're ready to go, folks, with the start.
TOW connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Brake off, pushing back.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and light up number 2 first. Again, to light off the engines, folks, you have to turn off the packs. And while not required technically, I mean, ZIBO will work with the fuel pumps off, like many aircraft, even in the Microsoft world. I turn them on. And then simply take the engine start. We're on the right ignition system and start up number 2. Just turn it 1 to the left, and then we just watch it build up. At about 17 to 25, in that range here on N2, we can then bring the fuel lever to idle. And then you've got the light off, and then we can confirm. Right there, you see the EGT going up, the N1's going up. Looks like we're starting up good here. Still got to pull us forward. Okay, and our engine is stable.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring on number 2. Or number 1. Same thing. Okay, let's get that fuel switched to idle. Looks like we're building up and doing good.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Thanks for flying with Mike. We'll be watching for the pin. All right, and she'll be right over there when she gets out of the tug. She'll show us the pins, and we'll... Got a feeling, is she going to stop? Yeah, she'll stop in time. And there's the pins, folks. So up here we go. What I'd like to do... Flash the lights, that way they can see us. All right, we're on the gens. Let's get the hydraulic. Let's see. Here, let's just do this. Make it simple. Okay, both engines are on the gens. Coming down here, we'll turn the engine ICE on now. System A on. Packs on for now, so we can get that temperature controlled before takeoff. And voltmeter to, we'll go with number 2 today. Probe heat anti-ice packs, isolation valve, and APU bleed off, and make sure the APU gen light is lit, and then turn it off. And folks, we are cleared for taxi. Flaps to take off. Remember, we're not our normal flaps 1 in this plane. We're flaps 5. And then taxi lights and turnoffs. And let's just do a quick check, and we're not going to get in trouble. And Jacksonville ground, southwest, 1908. Or 1980, correction. Taxi to 13 right. Bear with me 1 second, folks. I like having them all. Okay, here we go. And we got the brakes off. Brakes off, here we go. Right, I got a chart over here to see how we're taxiing. Alright, so we're going to come over here to Echo, and that should put us on the end of the runway. If not, Gulf will. Okay, before takeoff checks. Engine starts, continues. No brake. Okay, ATC. Get the transponder up and running. We got to get out to I'm going to go ahead and start this. Alright folks, so we're on our way to the runway here. We're just getting on Zulu. Alright folks, we'll be heading for the air here shortly. So hope you all again enjoy, and thanks for flying with Mike. As they love to say, and I'm going to run the welcome message here in a second. Well, you know, there's a lot of airlines out there you could choose, a lot of streams you could choose, but you know, we really do love the fact you came and checked us out here at Flying with Mike. So have a great day.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
All right, here we go, folks. Coming around the horn. Interesting, I don't see this runway on my chart. I'm guessing it's the taxiway. Is that Delta or Mike? I think it's Mike. No, that's right there. I don't know what runway this is. It is definitely not on the chart. Hobby traffic, Southwest 1980, departing 13 right. Okay, switching our lights on. Alright, folks, we're going to do maximum here, so let's get those lights on. And timer on. VNav, LNav, and ATCT to TARA. Alright, we'll throw weather on here, but we are getting some paints. But again, it's the green. If you all know how to make that yellow into what we normally see to know the intensities, I would sure love to find out how to. Here we go, bringing her up to 60%-ish. Now, I go higher than the checklists. See how easy that is to just match with that bottom EGT. You're stable. Let her rip. Auto throttle on. Toga. $80 knots.
80 knots.
V1.
V1. Rotate.
V2.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, now the gear can come up. I feel comfortable now.
400.
Gear up.
Okay, let's go direct.
To go.
Hang on, why are we going down when I commanded to climb? I tell you. We don't have an altitude restriction. Why do we have an altitude restriction? Are you kidding me? Okay, why are we gonna want to climb? What the heck? Stuck here. Are we running with... Alright, I do not know why we were stuck in that rut. I still don't know, because I think... Okay, some reason we got, let me just make sure we're clicking off the Rippy. Then Yoken. Okay, things are starting to look right, but I don't know, folks, what happened there on that initial. Why we were hung up at 2,500 feet. All right, folks. So, yeah, nice rough start to this one. Let me just do some looking through chat here to see if anyone made note of anything. I don't see anything, so that was bizarre, folks. I've never seen ZIBO do that before. Okay, we're approaching 10,000 feet though, and we'll turn the lights off and continue our onward and upward.
10,000 feet.
Okay, let's get those lights off real quick. Flaps are up. Wow, that was just really bizarre, folks. I'm just seeing if maybe I missed something on the eCams, and no, I did not. I don't know what I did wrong, folks, but obviously it didn't like something I did, and it kept us at 2,500 feet. So, we're on our way up now, folks. We should be at 35,000 feet here shortly, and into Atlanta in about an hour or so. So, hope you enjoy the ride, and thanks for choosing Flying with Mike today. Talks about rain in the area, and I don't see any, so that's kind of weird. All right, so
$18,000 feet.
yeah, the closest radar has is, I mean, it's not even to Galveston. Well, okay, it's getting into the western burbs. Okay. All right, so let's standard. And I heard this rumor from a streamer. Don't know how true it is. Microsoft doesn't have that feature where you can do flybys. Interesting if they don't. So I just, he said that in passing because he loves X-Plane and being able to do that when he flies X-Plane, which granted isn't much, but still, he says that's something we can't do in Microsoft. So I don't know the truth to that or not. So hopefully I'm not spreading a bad rumor. But basically, folks, you can't see it, but we're hugging the coast. Well, yeah, you can. Coming right up the coast. About the New Orleans area is where we'll start turning northeastward for Atlanta. So, just to give you a lay of the land, what's going on and all. But yeah, we're on our way. You know what? I'm just going to kind of step away from the mic here and allow y'all to just chill and enjoy the flight. Put a little music on, and away we go. All right, folks, we are through 31,000 for 35,000, and all is well. Hope you all had a great weekend, great Monday. Be it holiday here in the U.S. or abroad, I hope you had a great Monday start to the work week. We're getting closer to that magical hump day. Wednesday as we cross the hump and headed for the weekend again. So hope you all have enjoyable week. There's only going to be 2 streams this week, folks. Today and tomorrow. You can check down at the bottom here of Twitch into the About section and see what that flight will be. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be one of 2, same airplane, but one of 2 routes. And I haven't put the second route in there. Kind of feel how I'm going to feel. Then the next 2 days I'm at work. So 48-hour shift, you know. And back in on Saturday, and not really sure how I'll feel after that. We'll see. You never know. So, but anyway, folks, just 2 streams this week, today and tomorrow, and then we'll have to wait until the following week to get back into some kind of regimented schedule, albeit maybe who knows how to look. So as we get into summertime here, folks, so enjoy this ride. We're about 1 hour out as we're closing in on the 35,000 foot mark. And let me kind of turn our attention down here. Top of descent is not going to show up because we haven't reached top of climb yet. And I see what Bad Attitude was talking about. Just got 2 alerts on my phone regarding the A320s. So, yeah, looks, oh, I'm sorry, A320s. A300s, my bad, folks. My bad indeed. So, also over my last shift yesterday, watched an interesting story. Haven't gotten into the one about the other airline, and that was TWA and the story of TWA. A lot of you don't even know what I'm talking about because they left in the year 2001. One of what we call legacy airlines. Legacies being like American, United, Delta. Those you know. Northwest, Continental, Braniff, Eastern. Some of those you know, some of those you don't. Continental, I don't know if I mentioned. Western Airways. Those were the ones that started in the beginning of aviation, commercial aviation, airmail. And then as they got, you know, better equipment and better ideas and better people, not people running, what's the word I'm looking for, better ideas of what they would like to see aviation head into, was the birth of TWA, although it actually was Transcontinental Western Airways. How about that one, folks? Didn't know that either. So it eventually would become TWA, based, well, at first out west in California, then Kansas City, then St. Louis. So really an interesting legacy on that. many of those airlines, when deregulation happened in the late 70s, didn't survive into the 90s, let alone TWA made it into the turn of the century, but that's as far as it went. 2001 was the end. But American, United, Delta, Continental made it, Northwest made it. I don't know of any other big legacies that came in, but anyway, this was the era where airlines were buying out other airlines like it was candy. And today is what you have. And a few upstarts in dereg came about, Southwest and America West, which would eventually, if you follow their history, would become the management of America West would be that leads American today. I'll leave it that way. It's a complicated way it all happened, but I always look at American now as America West, because that's how the progression of time with the airline. But they were one of the first deregulation airlines to succeed. Not many did. It's rough, folks, and you guys want it. I mean, it's you guys that make it rough. You want those cheap seats, and folks, those planes are not cheap. That fuel isn't cheap, and boy, you know, you got to pay the crews. So, and the people behind the scenes to keep it going, the crews, but not just them. It's the people that do the accounting, do the maintenance, do this, do that, and it's brutal on them. So it's an interesting video out there. It's on YouTube, folks. Search it out. The story of TWA. The other one I'm getting ready to watch is the story about Pan Am. Now, there's both how Pan Am succeeded and what Pan Am was in the airline world, and then its demise. Second video. That's a tragedy. There's a lot behind that, and there's a lot behind all of them that caused their problems that they couldn't make in deregulation. So, but anyway, they were phenomenal movies. Look for them on YouTube, folks. They're out there, and if you just happen to, did I put it up online? Can't remember last night. I don't think I did. Well, I will get that up there so you all can enjoy it, because at least over here, hang on a second, let's see. Mainly because my Discord isn't geared into that way. Did I put it by chance here? No, I did not. Never know. Alright, and I'll have that in my Discord here shortly. You all can look for it under General. When you come in, it should be staring you down. Plus a couple of questions I have out there about, what were they? I'll ask it on stream because I'm curious. When I go into settings here in X-Plane 12, head over to the graphics page, I notice a new item, zinc. What the heck is that, and do I need to turn that on? I've seen a couple streamers using zinc, and folks, I drove a truck and I hauled zinc, but it was spelled differently. So I'm pretty sure it's not putting that on my computer. So I just saw that and was just kind of curious. Your thoughts and opinions. So, you know what? Let me, I know how I can get a hold of that the easiest way. All right, there you have it, folks. The story of TWA, especially for those of us that live. Hey, Mark Zelke 11, welcome in. First time chat. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Hope you're having a great. Well, I got to be careful because I so much want to say Monday, but it's Tuesday, folks. The holiday weekends here in the state, well, anywhere when you have a holiday, it's always rough. Hawker, welcome in. So, I was wondering if you were lurking about out there, Mr. Hawker. So, but yeah, welcome in, and hope you have a great, enjoy the stream there, Mark. We sure appreciate you being aboard. And, folks, if you head over to my Discord, right here is an invite. You can see the story of TWA. And again, I said this is, for people that live in St. Louis, this is a near and dear thing, because I'll be honest, I really miss that airline. That was a great airline. It's just a shame the way it was ran, and in the end, not in the beginning, but in the end more, that was a shame. But, you know, it is what it is. Welcome to business. So, but there's also one out there about Pan Am. Feel free to look for that, folks, because I got a feeling it's just as good. Those two butted heads so many times. Mainly well, it would have been mainly been international. Hey, thanks for the plug there, Hawker. But yeah, those two clashed big time, but mainly because TWA developed a domestic routing system. Pan Am was geared more international, which is what they were more known for. TWA, don't get me wrong, had an international side to it, but it was a very tough market, not a market so much, but a system in regulation in the days of regulated air carriers to break into certain routes. So very those two just never got along. And when Pan Am realized their only way to make it was to start domestic, was way too late for them. So that's the sad thing about it. So those well-rounded airlines that are going to go international, that's, you gotta have a fleet that can handle it, because think about it, folks, flying 747s from St. Louis to Kansas City, you better be able to fill the airplane, because that's an expensive airplane to just go 300 miles. But they did it. But likewise, they also flew to LA and New York and those too. All right, so we are coming up to HRV, which is in the New Orleans area. Getting ready to make that turn towards the northeast. More importantly, towards Hotlanta, or as some like to call the big ATL, or simply ATL. Alright, so we should be able to get a good number now on top of descent. Oh, no, we won't, because we haven't put our arrival in yet. Let's talk that through, shall we? Instead of bringing up a Sim Toolkit, I'm just going to bring up the charts program this time, folks. This is a standalone. Now, like I said, you can integrate this into Sim Toolkit and have it all in one. But you can see why I opted this way. I decided to make it to where it didn't fill the screen and you could still see around it. All right, so we are planned, if you look down at the bottom here, for the GNDLF to RNAV arrival. Okay, now we're going to be, and that is because we're coming in on East Ops. Hang on, let's try something here. Give me a second to see what it's going to look like first when I bring up the browser. Oh, not that one. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh. What I get for, Alright, hang on a second. Which one is that? I think that's the one I want. Yeah, okay. And let me get it on what I want. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Alright, so let me, like I said, bring up the browser here. Alright, we're going to go to this website here, folks. And you can do this in your flights here in the U.S. and territories of the U.S. There's probably a way to pull them up for worldwide when you see DATIS on the chart. I just don't know how to do worldwide. I just know this one. And it's great for us flight simmers because we can take off in LA, pull up what JFK or Atlanta or St. Louis or Kapipski is doing. So, Kipski, I'm sorry, I'll get it right. But anyway, this is how it comes up. Okay, if you come up here, select the facility. Of course, we're looking for the ATL. We are on the arrival side here, so we want to click that one to get the correct ATIS. And this, folks, is what's broadcasting right now, as of 1852, which I think is about an hour old. Almost an hour old. 05012 gust 16. You got the METAR at that time. Now, here's what we need to know. There's simultaneous approaches in use. Visuals for 8 left, visuals for 9 right, and then the NOTAMs and if the runways were wet and all of that. We do have land and hold shorts in effect, so you know, we'll see how that plays out. So 9 right or 8 left. We'll go with 8 left since that's how our flight plan came about. So that's what that site looks like when you go to the datis.cloud.io. All right, back to charts. Now, when you're armed with that information, folks, now you know, okay, well, this is a good approach because it's coming up where you have to fly easterly to get to your runway. And we're coming up SHYRE, which is right here, folks. So, real quick, across the top, see there's where it says DATIS. That's when you would go to that site that I pointed out. Elevation, 1,000 feet above sea level, and here's requirements and our transition level. Further requirements and things to expect. And radio out procedures. All right, so from SHYRE, we're coming up to Frito, Bilbo, Biggins, Smag, and then Gendolf. Okay, there we need to be. Well, actually, let me back the truck up. At or above 24,000 at Biggins, and then at or above 11,000 at Gendolf, and 250 knots. Hailer, we remain at 250 and above 10,000, but Schuler is a hard altitude. We have to meet at 8,000 feet. Okay, so my plan will be to set, 24. If I'm going to be close to 11, I'll set 10, just so we don't have to keep doing it. Then we'll go up to Jungle, Cubit, and then head up to our initial fix up here for our runway. Okay, pretty simple, and it shows pretty easily right here. Okay, now here's one other thing that you can use this charts program for, folks. See where it says approach available? Come down here. All right, ILS 8 left, RNAV or RNAV. Just two different RNAVs. Okay, you can see kind of the difference. The Z loops you around. We're going to be more in the grab, either at final or back here at Larry. Okay, so you choose one of these. So you can open them up, get the different intercept points, or just go with final. For now, I am just going to go with Larry, even though I may cut it off to, I think, was it JJ was the other one? Which would be a lot easier, but I'm being respectful that Atlanta could come up. Never, want to rule out Atlanta coming up. Okay, and if you notice down here, it puts in automatically your runways for both Cat 1, Cat 2, 3, and just the normal ILS approach. That I really like. Okay, so we're gonna bounce out of here, and we're gonna go to the ILS now. Alright, so we're going to come in at Larry, which is approximately a 22-mile run for the runway. And that'll be at 5,000 feet. Remember, 8,000 is where we left off at. Okay, so let's zoom in and work with the FMC here. Bear with me as I try to piece this as best together as possible. I may have to go to the other side. Nope. Yeah, we'll see if we can work from the co-pilots better. First off, that's annoying as all get out. Hang on. And I'm going to kill the music for right now, folks, so it's a little too much in my ears right now. Sorry. Okay, so let me switch this over to legs. And you can see we left off at SHYRE. Hang on, let's look at that real quick. So we left off here, so we actually got to put in the arrival and then the runway. So we go to departure approach, ATL, Gundolf, next page, next page. There's our transition. Now, we're looking for, make sure I do the right runway. Eight left. And I did select the right one. Okay, just needed to make sure. So 8 left. Again, you see I've got a choice of the transition JJJ, Larry, or let it go and we set it up. I'm going to go with Larry, and we're going to execute. Go to the legs page, and we're going to just walk it out. So again, Frito, Bilbo Biggins, Smock, and we'll look at the altitudes. Bilbo's fine. Biggins above 24, that's good. Smag, and then Gundolf 11,250. Then Haler 10,250. Schuler 8,000 feet, 240. There is no speed restriction, so we're good with that, although I may slow us to 220 at that point. We'll see. Let's carry that up to Cubit, and then from there we vector to Larry, and that's this fix up here where we'll join. We may just continue straight, join it, and come in. Okay, so we got that set up. Now, Larry, then we have JJJ, Azar, and then Shield, and then we head for the runway. Everything looks pretty good. Now, we do not have our approach speeds yet. All right, so currently this is programmed like how I want it. So we're good to go with the arrival. And I think we can actually fully brief this out. So we've done the arrival. So let's take a look at the top half of this page. Let me just get rid of that so it's not distracting. Okay, so there's your frequencies we could run across. 8 left is 119.1 on the tower. Ground you see is 121.9. Of course, they'll hand us off. No, they won't. They'll take us right into the ramp. However, we will need to set 109.3, and we'll need to set our front course, final course of 295. Now, Shield, which is right here at 7.5 miles out, 2,900 feet on the glide slope. That's 1,800, call it 1,900 feet above the ground. Okay, for this approach, your altimeter will be at 1215. That's when, if you don't break out and see the runway, or at least the approach lights, it's a go around. And that's 200 feet above the ground, folks. So when we set our radio or baro, we can do both, but folks, you're setting both. If I set 1250 under baro, I'm still going to be 200 feet above when it says minimums. So it just what you like, and it's usually easier to just set the 200 feet. I just got pinged. What did we get pinged? I don't see any warning messages. Okay, cool. How about up here? Nope. Okay, just making sure. All right. So we'll go ahead and okay, so that gives you what our minimum. So if the METAR reads below 200 feet, guess what? You can't come into the airport unless we go to the Cat 2, Cat 3 approach. That changes this. You have to be certified, the plane has to be certified, all that good stuff has to marry together in order to do that. Some airlines do not do Cat 3. Many will do Cat 2, but not Cat 3. There's a lot to it, that's why. There's our missed approach. Pretty much see it's out to Troy's. And we hold. Vertically, this is how it looks. Larry, 5,000. JJ, 5,000. Bazar, 4,000. Shul on the glide slope at 2,900 feet. X marks the spot, folks, where you'll be on the glide slope. All the way down. This airplane probably, I don't, well actually, yeah, I kind of do know. Was looking like looking at my paperwork, 150. We'll show you a more exact number here in a minute. So we're going to have to interpolate. Let's put it at 2:15-ish. 2 minutes 15 seconds from crossing SHUTDOWN. If we don't see the runway, we have to go around. Shouldn't be a problem so far. Again, there's our minimums. Visibility has to be above a half mile or above an 18 on the RVR. We lose the touchdown and centerline lights. Provisions for us to go to 18 and a half or 18 RVR, but otherwise it's 24 then. That's touchdown and centerline lights. Because basically we have to see the approach lights to start with, and then within the next 100 feet, I think I have to see 2 lights on the runway, or we're still in a go-around. All right, now as promised, let's do the airspeeds real quick. I want to do a quick check here one more time. $150 miles. Okay, I don't have to hurry. All right, let's come back over to the EFB.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached our cruising altitude. Lines are smooth, so I'll turn the seatbelt sign on. And we'd like to ask you to do that result, please take your seatbelt fast on these to continue to find an unexpected bump. Also, please don't hold the line to virtually the forward galley laboratory area. We really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you enjoy the trip. Have a great week. Back to you in real soon.
All right. So I promised we can do this a couple of ways, folks, to get our speeds. Takeoff performance, and I don't know what it's going to take I know it's going to take them to find the correct performance information to give us good takeoff this way. However, we can do the landing. Flaps 30. Runway 8 left. Dry. Wind. You're going to have to trust me on these. Well, actually, hang on. Let's real quick. No, let me pull it up here on SkyVector. To get my mouse on the right spot. Okay, our ATIS said 050 at 12. Wait a minute, I can do this on the airplane. Stand by. Not easily. Never mind. I just realized it's not easy. 050/12. Okay, temperature reported on the ATIS was 27. All of this is updatable, folks. And 2995. Whoops. Okay, so air conditioning, auto, anti-ice, I should be able to leave it off. Brakes will go 3. And everything else looks good. Landing weight. Estimating 139.2. It's 139,000 folks, 240. It's actually 139,246 estimated landing weight, and we just hit enter. Okay, and we're gonna go with 0. All right, so okay, and this is gonna tell you VREF 145. Close to what I'm projecting. We're going to use 1,730 meters of the runway. To me, that looks close to 2/3, a little past half, so we're fine with our brake setting. 2 would push us a little further down. I'm going to look at the chart real quick for Atlanta. Yeah, if we land this like we should be able to make B11, possibly B7, taxiway Bravo. And you know what? I need to figure out which gates I'm going to want to go to right now. The C gates. And you're probably going, how'd you figure that out? You can't tell that there. FlightAware will tell you. So we'll cross over, barring ATC, of course. If we're lucky, we'll just come across C or D to F to C concourse and find us a parking spot. Okay, that's one way, folks. To keep that up, pull that away. 145 was the number. Let's pull in Top Cat again. Remember this in the beginning? Payware program. Now, folks, this information can be derived over on Professional Flight Planner. They're both payware programs, but you can bundle them. Saves a little bit of money, but you can export directly into here. Okay, so that way you have your weight and balances already set up and all of that. So, but anyway, this is for takeoff and landing performance calculation tool. So we do both with this. So we'll go to the landing side. We got our weights already. Close enough. And we'll be flaps 30. I like to throw auto land and auto. It just seems to give me more data. It doesn't mean I have to do it, but you know, it just seems to help out. And okay, currently as of 1952, so we just had an update, folks. 100 at 13 with gusts to 17, and it's 10 miles of visibility, broken at 9,2995, so that part stayed the same. Still have potential thunderstorms northeast, southeast of the airfield, so we'll kind of watch. Now I know you don't see that here. However, we're again on the wrong runway. It's only 9,000 feet long. Compute. And again, 146, very close to our RV ref 30 of 145. So again, the two are matching up. Again, this is working off PMDG data. So, or yeah, it is PMDG. So the two are meshing up, you know, quite nicely. And like I said, folks, you're already seeing just how, unbelievably real this ZIBO is for free, folks. It's just a free add-on to your aircraft, and it is amazing. Okay, so that number is working out. And then lastly, what we need to do is come down to the init page, and we'll just click it and enter it. We'll get it updated as we get closer. And there you go, folks. Now we're going to go ahead and update the data here. Remember, we had a wind change of okay, hang on. Where am I now? Oh, I know where I got it. Sky vector. 113. All right. I heard the ding again, folks, but I do not see any problems. Okay, so we're on our way. And currently 75 miles out. So folks, we're real close to top of descent. So I hope you're ready for this as we prepare for an arrival in Atlanta East Ops. So while we're just far enough out, let's bring charts one. This one could get tough, but we'll try it. All right, what we're going to try to do here, folks, set some frequencies in here. Because you're looking at this going, that ain't a normal radio. Texas 136. Welcome back. It has been great, sir. Hope you've enjoyed the time and the time away. We're just getting set up for the arrival into Hotlanta. All right, folks, so here's how you work this multi-radio. I like this one. I'll be honest. I really like it. I don't know if this is really in the 737s all that much, but I like it. Down here is where we set it. We can set it for VOR, GLS approaches, ILS approach, okay? As we look at our Cat 1 arrival, we see 109.3, and here, folks, it works just the same. And it is now set. I think we do not have the VOR. I thought we did for Atlanta. Okay, so that has our ILS set. All we have to do now, get rid of, hang on. We just have to set 095 for our inbound course. For nav 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, geez. I can't even imagine. Well, I've had troubles with my Google password too, and not fun. But we can use SkyVector here, folks, to find out what Hotlanta's VOR is. 116.9. And I'll just do it this way. And you know what? Just in case we need to go on both, I'll have the frequencies up. I'll just need to set the set the course on number 2. 116 decimal niner, and you don't have a decimal. All you got to do is just type it out. 116.9. Push it to the top, and that is Atlanta. Probably. No, it is coming in. Oh. Okay. And we're set, folks, for at least a Category 1 approach. Category 2 would take us down would Category 2 take us down to? 105. I'm sorry, to 100 feet AGL, and we'd have to have a RVR of 12. None of which applies. So we're good with Cat 1. And alternate, should it become needed, is Charlotte. So you all can see what Atlanta is reporting. Oh, Sim Toolkit, really? Hang on a second. It decided it lost connection. Oh, and I didn't get the bot to fire. Hang on a second. All these doggone updates that go on with Sim Toolkit again, it's really frustrating. There's the bot. It's really frustrating, and now I think my information may get skewed again. And X-plane. Oh, man. Oh, well. Really wish the updates would stop. It's getting very frustrating where I may just say to heck with it and go back to Volanta. Alright. Showing 17 minutes. But yeah, Charlotte is it. It does seem a bit of a distance to run, but I got a feeling just by what I saw over the weekend weather-wise, things haven't really calmed a lot out there. They had a if you didn't know this, folks, the people in the Carolinas. Oh man, really? Like, why is this not looking right on the map? There we go. Out in the Carolinas up to Charlotte and all, know that they had a tropical system. You may have seen videos out there, folks, of this system. I'm going to be kind of curious if they don't put something else to it. A big tropical blob came in basically and worked itself eastward, well, northeastward through the Carolinas, Charlotte, and finally either washed itself out or got picked up and moved westward towards the northeast. I don't know that part of the story. But the cruise ship reported 80-mile-an-hour winds. That's hurricane force. The storm, in my feeble mind, appeared to be cyclonic in nature. You could see the spin. That usually, but I don't know if the tropical characteristics were there, but that could make it a named storm subtropical. But those guys at the Hurricane Center, I know they're much smarter than me and blow it every time. There's a lot of question marks on that storm. It was a big storm, folks, came in. So, it'd be interesting to see, because, by the way, we've already had one tropical system back in January. They say they are now claiming to be one. They did not put a name or a number for tropical depressions, but it was a number in their system now. So, and that's 2 to 3 months afterwards. So 2 to 3 months afterwards, we may find out this was too. So we're approaching top of descent. But anyway, yeah, looking now at Sky Vector in the Charlotte area. If I can just figure out where my mouse is. There it is. in the Charlotte area. Yeah, I mean, it's VFR, for the most part, VFR all over the place around Atlanta. So I don't know how they choose the alternates. Let me set our first one at 24. And if I get to it in time, great. If I don't, it'll start top of descent on me already. All right, and folks, we are starting down for Hotlanta. Yeah, it was a pretty intense storm. It was kind of fun to watch. Thankful none of our aircraft were coming from that way for the airport, but yeah, nice little Memorial Day surprise, which isn't really surprises. It's not very unusual for us not to have something tropical happening over Memorial Day. So, yeah, that was quite an impressive storm to watch on the radar and all coming through that area. I think the rains got as far east, maybe Nashville, but I'm not certain. And I don't know how much actually dumped out of it, but it looked like quite a bit. And it didn't do our descent. Why didn't it? The heck? What is going on with ZIBO here? I know he makes a lot of updates, and I think I need to stop with the updates. Because things aren't engaging like they should be in again, this feeble mind's thinking process. Okay, that is Atlanta, folks. That's on nav 2. Nav 1 is set for the aisle. That doesn't seem right. The heck? Oh, that's why. Okay. Whew. Like, man, why is that wrong? Int'l. Welcome in. Yeah, I've been reading some of the things he's been correcting, and I'm like, they worked though before. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait for the next one or go back to an older version, because I'm not liking this. But again, it's that loose nut behind the wheel, and whew, things are definitely different. I don't have Musfuss, so I can't compare, sir. I'm kind of in the same camp with Int'l. So I have no way of comparing. Two things that I can tell you right now that are better than Musfuss, better than with X-Plane than Musfuss, and they aren't anything to do with flight characteristics or anything like that. It's a heck of a lot cheaper than Musfuss. And the ZIBO is a heck of a lot cheaper than the PMDG needed if you want to run this quality in Musfuss. It's free versus you do the math. So yeah, much cheaper. And but it would depend what you want in a sim with Musfuss, because they have their tiering system they love to do over on that side of the world, Microsoft. And if you want everything, you open up your bank book. If you're okay with just a few things, it isn't too expensive. But I've got a whole different other reasons why I'm glad I'm away from Microsoft. So, and we're not going to get into that. We're going to get into Atlanta as we're getting ready to punch into some clouds. And I'm also really looking forward to when X-Plane 1206 comes out. We're diving. Well, let's see how we doing. We have Biggin yet? Where are we at on this arrival? Oh, heck, I need to... How we doing? We're going to have to go into VS. That ought to make it. I mean, we're technically legal with all of it, but I'd like to get a little closer. And we'll watch the speeds here. Thank you for the dive alert. I'll be honest, I wish I could get back into the real world. It's just so doggone expensive. I actually, miss that more than anything, being able to fly in the real. And it's not, that I've got a medical issue or I just have a bank book issue to be able to do it. It's just so expensive. Last time I checked, it's $100 an hour for a Cessna in this area, and that's no more than 10 years ago. So yeah, sorry folks, that's a little out of my range. Although I would love to do it. I miss those days so badly. Well, yeah, tap an instructor on. I'm getting close to that. So, all right, we're coming up on the transition level. Let me double check. Altimeter setting should be 2995. We'll get that preset. And we'll go to it. And while we're descending, let's go ahead. Okay, still looking on track. Although the speed end of it, we are a little fast. So we'll just pop the spoilers. Actually, we're just before Grandolph. I'll be doggone. 11,000, 10,000 at or above, but Schuler is 8,000, which is what it looks like it's going to hit, and we're going to be at 250 here in a pretty quick second. So, folks, we are actually doing pretty good here. All right, well, Int'l, thanks for supporting the channel and coming out. We sure appreciate you. Always a great time when you're around. We'll be into Atlanta here in about 10 minutes, folks, if that. So, enjoy the night up there. All right, let's see if we can maintain this. Amazingly, folks, we ended up at the altitudes right hailer at 10. We're just above it, and we're going to be at 8,000 on track. Just right now trying to bleed speed. All right, there's 10,000.
feet.
Thousand to go.
All right, so I am going to pay very close attention here. Make sure we descend and make our cut into the glide slope there at 5,000. And we are crossing at 8,000 on course, folks. How about that? There we go. All right, so let's get into these checks, shall we? Engine starts to continues. Landing lights, approach procedures, altimeter set. We need to get that set now to our ILS. Okay. And what we're going to just do is continue straight north here on the here, let me kind of, because we can't really. When I got my PC, it was just under, I'll say it was under 3,000, but it might have been less than that. I got it from X-Force. You see it pop up every now and then. He did a really great job, and we had some troubles with it. It wasn't the PC, it was our network, and we're still to some degree having troubles. Gonna try this again, folks. I don't expect it to start descending just quite yet. But yeah, I would say back 3 years ago, oh, that is our mascot, if you hear it in the background, for Flying with Mike, making his entry with his barking. Don't know what he's barking at. I don't think he does either. Because I sure don't see anything out there. Oh, I just heard there's a truck outside. That's what he's all upset about. All right. All right, so let's see if we start our descent. We didn't, none of this has worked prior to this. Whatever he did, folks, or they did, I shouldn't say he, the group did, is not seeming to want to work. We're gonna find it. We're crossing top of descent. That should do it. I had to do the intervene. Okay, brake set to 3. Well, wait a minute. Is it? It's not working. Alright, we're gonna need speed brakes again. Alright, and we're gonna overshoot the localizer. We're thankfully under the glide path, so that's good. Yeah, the automatic picking up of the top of descents is not working.
Thousand to go.
Alright. Let's... Spoilers armed. And he's trying to make himself known again. Oh, the dogs. They're so funny sometimes. Alright, and we are coming into Atlanta, folks. We're about ready to join the localizer. We overshot, and plenty of room. I think I'm starting to pick up runways. We'll see here as we turn on. There's the glide slope, and here we go. Alright, let's go to flaps 5. Distance. Alright, distance about 10 miles. Coming up on 11 miles, so we'll keep the gear. Okay, we're set. Got runways in sight. 11-mile DME, there we go. Let's go to flaps 15, I think it is.
$2,500.
Gear down.
All right. Flaps 25, let's go flaps 30. Okay, and I've got the plane. That's me doing that, folks, just to make sure we're not gonna ease to the left a little and all of a sudden my yoke goes crazy on me. Atlanta traffic, Southwest 1980, approximately 5-mile final for 8 left.
1,000.
Happy's in sight. Landing.
$500.
Approaching minimums.
400.
Landing.
300.
And it's only 400, folks, because I didn't reset it.
200.
79 at the go well.
Why am I going around?
100. 50. 40. 30, 20, 10,
80 knots.
Okay, out of reverse. Off the auto brakes. We'll be getting off here. I can't read that. I think it's 7. A little further down than I wanted, but you know what? Hey, we made it. That's all that matters. Alright, let's start in on these after checks. Okay, strobes. I do need one chart. Okay, so if I come CD, I'm going to C, I forget which one I said. And we'll just take, I'll look it up. C9. Ooh. The little bit I looked on that chart, that's a little bit of a taxi to C9. So we'll come down the Delta to Fox. Okay. And Atlanta traffic, Southwest 1980s off 8 left, taxiing to Charlie 9. Okay. And terrain off, weather off. So I hope you enjoyed the ride, folks. Sorry for the little quietness there, just trying to navigate where the heck I'm a-going. Get the APU on once we get on Fox. Okay, final things, let's see, stape trim to 4.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 1055, descending to 7,000, turning a right base to final wireless runway 9 right, Atlanta traffic.
Okay, and APU. We'll need it. Okay. Okay, and then we're ready for shutdown, so... should be the next one, folks. Okay, now we just got to get to the back half, about midway down the back half being after here. So, if you're not familiar with Atlanta, folks, give you a real quick look at it. It's these satellite terminals all the way out. And what you do is you ride a tram to get to it.
1698, turning final, about 25 miles out for 9 right, landing traffic and traffic. Landing traffic in sight.
Actually, you're in. Alright. Just kind of making sure I find the right one. There's my gate.
And 1690, I'm going to do 170 to the marker. Alright, yeah, we're slowly got you inside too. Okay.
And brakes are set. Let's make sure we've run into where it rolls backwards. Alright, so we're into blocks, folks. So APU is available. Generators on. Bleed air on. Okay, and finally, start shutting them down. All right, folks, again, welcome to Atlanta. Fun ride in here. Don't have a clue what my landing rate was. We'll double back here and see how we did. momentarily. Let's make sure everything transponder to standby. Might even go ahead and at this point come off, but let's see what kind of inbound we may have following us, if any, that we want to watch. They're coming into the 9s, so from here we could watch them. Let's see. Can we see them yet? Nope, not yet. All right, well, I'm going to get the jetway in here. Head over here, start opening up the put the chocks in, and get cargo doors opened up. Make sure the jet bridge isn't going to move anymore. I don't know what's going on with the jet bridge.
Atlanta traffic, Delta 1055, 7 mile final ILS runway 09er right, Atlanta traffic.
All right, let's take a look out there. 7 miles. You would think we could see it. Give it a couple more minutes. Okay, we'll be right back out there. All right, let's take a look, see if we can see them now. Oh, don't see them. Give it a little bit more, and then we're going to disconnect. He's a little further out than I think he's claiming. Wait, I think we got him. There he is.
Atlanta traffic Southwest 1698, 10 mile final, 9er right.
And we'll see how Delta does here, and then we'll get into the review of the flight. We're not going to wait on the others. Nice job, Delta. Nice job indeed. All right. Always, always, that's one of the reasons sometimes I like to look out and see what's coming in. Just, if they're close enough, why not? I mean, heck, we can watch and we can all learn, because we're going to try to do that here in a second, replay the landing for this after we review it.
And Delta 1055 is clear, runway 9er right at November 10, taxi to the terminal. The November 10 Delta, cross 9er left, and Lima to the gate.
Kind of
Atlanta traffic.
aggravating when you get into that detail. especially on Unicom. I can understand a read back, but not on Unicom. But anyway, hey, to each their own. All right, so we're going to disconnect. I said disconnect. Thank you. Close that out. Now, what we use to review the flight, folks, is a sim toolkit. And kind of seems kind of rough to me, but oh, that's the overlay, dummy. There's sim toolkit. I'm going, why is it not coming up? There we go. All right, so you can kind of see the route we took in here, coming from SHYRE right up here, Qubit, then we went straight up for the intercept, missed the localizer, but worked our way back onto it. For a fairly decent landing, folks, here in Atlanta. Another neat little feature with Sim Toolkit. Look at that. If you don't have charts, you can always use Sim Toolkit. Zoom in, gives you an idea where you are. I could have used this to help me in. I was actually using charts. The aircraft you see are the VATSIM aircraft that were out there. He's going backwards. Oh well. Oh, we got someone over on the cargo ramp too, so over on the north end. So anyway, just thought I'd point that out in case, you know, you get into a place, you're using Sim Toolkit. I believe Volanta can do that too. I haven't used it in a long time, so don't quote me, folks, but you can zoom it down like that. All right, so first thing we got to do, go back to flight summary, and you can do it from this page too. Watch, we'll zoom all the way in. See? So, and if you want, you can use this, folks. I think if we get in close enough, sometimes it'll give you gates. But you can see if where you're going to spawn in this general, there's a plane. Something to think about, guys who like to spawn on top of planes. It really aggravates me, but go here first before you spawn in on your gate at busy airports, because you would then avoid that argument that'll be coming. All right, so finish the flight first. Done. All right. So here's our flight. They're saying 372 feet a minute. Very well could have been. Who knows? We'll see here in the replay if it doesn't crash on us. Okay, so our flight time was 2:03 for 600 miles. That's our en route fuel. Of course, it's in kilograms. Wish it was in pounds, but you know, hey, is what it is. Landed with only 1.3 Gs at 134, which is way under. So let's take a look though how we did. Really? All right. Oh, man. I hate when it does that. It's planning us 8 right. I looked at this before coming in and it said 8 left. So the numbers generated here, albeit pretty close to the same, are really for 8 right. That's why this green dot here says 1,000 feet to the left of the center line. It was expecting me on this runway. Okay. It is, like I've been saying, it is what it is. But you get your metrics here, folks. Gives you an idea what you were working with. So, really, to me, it looks like it's going to be a good landing. Okay. New people to flying that may not realize the runway tells you quite a bit in your landing and takeoffs. Okay, first off, this white line here, from this point forward down the runway, in the real world, Sims, you know, you guys land wherever the heck you want to land sometimes, but in the real world, that white line is called the threshold. There, forward, is where you're supposed to land. Now, there is an area on every runway that has an ILS, precision approach, that tells you where the landing area is, where you should try to touch down at. And I use that verbiage for a reason. Okay, it ended right here with these hash marks. I'm not sure what were taxi-wise here, but you can tell they went on because there's rubber. Where the rubber is, you know that's where they landed. Okay, now the thicker it is, obviously that's where we want you to be. So from this hash mark back to the threshold, that is your quote landing area, and on a 9,000 foot runway, you land within that, you got plenty to stop. Okay, real quick, these big bars here that look really bigger than the other hash marks, that is what you cue on visually to try to touch down at. That's the aiming point. Your PAPIs are right here, your ILS is actually right here, glide slope. This is the glide slope for the other runway. And you can see they're gearing you to touch down here. That's the white, red, red's what you want. That means you're right on target for it. Where it gets pilots is that flare always. So, but again, we touched down within the landing zone, so that's good. Now, remember I said something about takeoff. Okay, well that tells you if you got off here, you only used about 3,000 feet of it. I think that's what that'll be. Yeah. So, okay, is that right with your takeoff performance or not? Okay, hard to say. However, let's get down to the other end. Now you start seeing these on landing, you better start thinking about binders, hitting your brakes, because here at least you're going to run off into the grass. Other airports, that interstate could be right here, and they have EMAS there to protect you from going into it. And that's still not fun to hit. So it has the other effect. At the other end, it tells you how much you have left. So if you haven't took off by here, folks, hopefully you've planned that you're taking off further. And I have seen them go all the way close to, if not off the end of the runway by a couple feet. Our runway, if you do that with a heavy, you're going to take out threshold lights. Here, well, I'm sure you will here too, but some airports you may not. So just a little airport wisdom there. All right, so closing up Sim Toolkit. And I'm going to go ahead and close it completely. Let's get the jetway. Let's button this plane up, because sometimes they don't do this in flight. Okay, get the jetway away. Chocks away. All right, so what we're going to try to do is something X-Plane has. To me, it works flawless in X-Plane 11. X-Plane 12 is still new. They say they're out of beta, but I think they still are, because there are bugs that are still in it they're working out. They're nothing major, though, folks, but this is one I like. This, to me, is the best way to learn how to fly, is to go back and watch your mistakes. So what you do is you come up here. Now, MustFuss, I've been told, does not have this feature. You have to download a program. Don't know if it's payware. Don't know if it's freeware. Install it. Start it where you want to replay it from. And then it works the same way. I can go back, if it works, all the way to when I started the sim. We're not going that far back. It looks like it's working. All right, let's just put it here. Gears down, right? Pull up some mosaic. And let's play this one. That was me making sure the flight yoke wasn't going to do crazy things like it has. There you go, folks. We are in replay on the approach only. Again, I can take it all the way back to the beginning. So let's watch. Of course, like that one, we can fast forward. I think my problem is I flare too early. Well, we got a lot of smoke, so yeah, I think we touched down. The 300 number is probably right. Oh, hang on, folks. Pause. Hopefully that wins. Stand by, folks. Pause music. Hang on a second. I need to check something here. I forgot to stop the ACARS program. Shame, shame, shame on me. Bear with me here a second, folks. I hate when I do this. Just want to make sure. I mean, I like getting credit for it. It's not like I haven't flown within a month with this, with Mac Air. But when you go back and forth, it really screws with your numbers. Hopefully I get approved. Yes, okay. My apologies, folks. Let's get her going forward again. Profile looks great on this approach. Thought you'd like that slow motion effect. Let's see what it looks like from our passenger point of view. Hawker's 125 seat. Little wing flex there, folks, but not too bad. Hopefully enough to wake the people up to know the time to get off the plane. Let's look on this side. Wing flex looks kind of weird over here. I don't know what it is. Oh, that looks actually better now. Okay. It's a good landing. I have to say, I still think it's still a good landing. Wow, really nice landing. I mean, I'm not going to complain, folks. Let's look from the tower, which, as Melvin Leroy says, will never show a bad landing, unless you crash. Look at that, folks. See, I told you, always beautiful landings from the tower view. All right, folks, so if you're dejected and you thought you did a horrible landing, and as long as you didn't crash, because it'll show you crashed, head up to the tower view. That'll help. All right, folks, you know what? We're going to call it for the day. Hey, I want to say thank you, one and all, for coming out, supporting the channel tonight. Hawker and Bad Attitude, Texas. I'm trying to remember everybody we talked to tonight, folks. I don't like ever seeing that when I come back. Texas 136, thanks for coming out. And Int'l, we appreciate you. And everyone else that I missed in the lineup here, thank you so much for being a part of Flying with Mike. It's my pleasure to come up tomorrow, a special flight, sort of. It's been a flight in the making for about a month now. We're going to be flying out of KATL, which, okay, flying out of KATL ain't all that spectacular. Great scenery, don't get me wrong, but it's just not all that great. But we're headed up to Japan, and we're going to be heading for my first run in the new version of the sim here, of the A330 that is default in X-Plane 12. They just, in this last release, updated the McDo to what it looks like in an Airbus for the most part. I have test flown it, and it's not bad, folks. So look forward to seeing you there tomorrow, hopefully around 16Z for the startup, and we will see you then. Hope y'all have a wonderful night, blessed night, and hope to see you tomorrow. God bless, and have a great night.